Hello and welcome to another interesting session of this beautiful series, which is named Reflections, Stories to Recharge and Rejuvenate, where we hear inspiring stories from various guest speakers. And today I'm very happy to welcome Damian Outtrim. Damian is a BK meditation teacher based in South Australia. He has had the opportunity to teach in Australia and around the world, traveling in various countries. Damian is a community mental health worker and takes joy in meeting people from all walks of life. And the topic of the story today is From Faith to Understanding. So as Damian mentions, Damian was a keen seeker of spiritual experience and how seeking one spiritual experience eventually led to having many experiences after coming into Raj Yoga. And spirituality can be like a treasure hunt, is what he says. So we are very eager to know what happened and what treasures have you found when you came into this. So a very warm welcome, Damian, and it's over to you.
Shanti, and good evening. Thanks for the lovely introduction, Lata. And yeah, so going to be sharing I suppose the essence of this spiritual journey that I've been on, the story of a good part of my life. And I was definitely a treasure hunter, but I didn't realize the sorts of treasures that were waiting for me. And often we don't. So I'll start this story, this journey, from when I was a child, really. And so the name of the story is From Faith to Understanding. And as a boy and a child, although my parents did not have a belief system or belong to a religion or spiritual path, as a youngster, I often used to just look around and think how amazing everything is, and that there must be some creation process behind all of this. I was just amazed, and often I would even have this thought of just, wow, life is just so amazing, and I feel so grateful to be alive and experience it, and I want to make the most of it. And I remember hearing this notion of God when I was young, that God was omnipresent in everything. And I remember as a young boy literally looking at a chair and thinking to myself, so they're saying God is in that chair? And it really, that didn't quite compute. I'm thinking that doesn't seem quite right. And I sort of left it at that. And moving on to the teenage years, sort of the mid-teens, and I started having a few challenges in my life through school and the sort of company I was keeping. And my father decided to introduce me to these people. They were sort of what we might call hippies, who lived out in the country. These very lovely people, and what they were doing is they were doing energy healing with cancer patients, and working with them, and also a doctor they were working with cancer patients free of charge to share energy coming from their hands. And so my father thought it might be interesting and perhaps beneficial for me to meet these people. And so we travelled to their sort of farm in Langwarrin in Victoria, and their dogs on the farm were chained up, and we went into this old house, and they started talking about, how this energy healing works, and then they would do it sort of on me and my father with their hands, a little bit off the body, and I could really feel this energy penetrating, coming from their hands and going deep into my body. And I remember when I was lying face down, even though their hands were above, I knew exactly where they were. And then they sort of initiated me where I could feel the energy coming from my hands, and also, do it back to them as well. And ever since, I've been able to, if I feel a headache or something coming on, I sort of go into the zone and put the energies in, and it helps my healing processes. And so this really opened up my interest in things beyond the physical, because in school we're taught so much about science and mathematics and geography and history, all things about the physical. So this sort of step into the metaphysical was really interesting for me. And then I suppose a few years later, I was interested. I was trying some different types of meditation out, and they were often expensive, but I was experiencing some things. But it was around 19, well, it's actually in 1999 that I had a very profound experience that really set me up for a very interesting future, I suppose. And looking back, I could understand the timing and why this happened. But at the time, it was a very profound experience. Um, I was in this setting where some Jeff Buckley music was playing, some incense I'd never smelt was playing, was in the air, I should say, and I was near asleep, but I was quite awake, and I had this vision in front of my face, almost like a hologram. There was an image of a face, and it was like an iridescent or bright blue, and it had a diamond in the center of the forehead, and it was a perfect like female image. And the image said, "What do you want, Damien?" And I was obviously a little bit taken by that, but almost like it was like a genie fulfilling wishes or something. I said, "Peace in the world" was the first thing I said. And then I said something else, which I can't quite remember. And then that image, that vision disappeared. And there was this profound energy that was present it felt was extremely spiritual, and it felt like eternity, like I was in the middle of an eternal moment. And it was so divine. All the objects, the curtains, everything in the room had a spiritual hue, like a light around it. And I was amazed at that experience. And that energy lasted for hours, that I was in this sort of spiritual state. And all that I knew from that was that God existed, that there must be a God and God must exist, because that was far away the most divine experience I'd ever had up until that point. And so, not not having anyone to really talk to about this experience, I thought, oh, I don't know if a priest could help me understand what had happened, or I didn't know any spiritual people really. So I did some study in books at the library, trying to find that image. I was looking through Buddhism and ancient Egypt and books about angels, but I never really found that image. But I sort of desperately wanted to have that experience again, so I would often recreate burning that nag champa incense, playing the music, thinking divine thoughts. And yeah, it didn't really happen again until 3 years later. I didn't have a vision, but again, that similar circumstances and this divine feeling of eternity and divinity was all around me. And yeah, it was amazing, like a dream come true. And I think around that time, I started sort of having this connection with something beyond myself, thinking that this was my soulmate, like my other divine half that I would meet someday. We'd get married, we'd have a beautiful life. I really felt it was my soulmate, because I was experiencing this beautiful energy and responses to my thoughts and through music. This was sort of the romantic, unlimited thinking I was having. And I started reading books about. I wasn't really interested in books at all, but I picked up this book called Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukav. And it really sparked my interest, things about the soul and the unlimited. Then after that, I read books called The Celestine Prophecy about, having a divine consciousness and seeing auras around people and trees. I started reading all these spiritual books and, it was really seeking. I mean, I had this strong faith was there, but no understanding. And I joined a spiritual book club with some Christian people who were, and we'd, would all read the same book and then share our views and have interesting discussions. And trying other types of meditation again. And but I remember early in 2005, I just made a decision never to have an alcoholic drink again. And I certainly wasn't a big drinker, but I used to drink from time to time. And I wanted to experience like the full naturalness of the body, whatever that could be. And so I stepped away from a group of people that were not helpful for me. And I was just really seeking this sort of natural awareness or this natural high. And at the time, I think I was in between jobs and I was seeing a job guidance person. And she was seeing some good in me that I probably wasn't seeing in myself at the time. And although she was there to recommend work for me, she said, I think you need a bit of a spiritual boost. And I'd recommend visiting the Brahma Kumari's retreat centre, which is just up the road in the Mornington Peninsula, and get some Reiki healing as well. So I thought, this is a bit unusual. That I would have thought that these people would just put me straight into work and that was their role. But she was sensing that I needed this part of my life to develop. So I did the Reiki healing and I felt some really good energy after the first hour healing. And then I rang up the Brahma Kumari Centre and they said they had this meditation course that was coming up and it was free of charge. I thought, wow, that's great. First time it's free. And so I went along to the first night. It was on July the 4th, 2005. So about 3 months after I'd made that choice to become truly a better person. Now I remember walking into the meditation center and I always would pick up energy of these places and I felt the energy and I saw someone there and they just had this real spiritual look in their eyes, almost like it was reflecting the stars. It was quite amazing. And then I did the first lesson, and the first lesson was about the soul, and I thought, fantastic. I've been reading books about the soul, and perfect. And it made a lot of sense to me. And so I went home. From that day, I started meditating every day, and I haven't missed a day since. And the next week, they talked about the Supreme Soul, God. And I thought, excellent, I have a love for God, and, this is great, a meditation that focuses on God. Incredible. And what's interesting was I went to the teacher after the lesson, and I spoke about these experiences that I'd had, with the vision and that divine energy, and that I felt I was connecting with my soulmate because I was getting a response to my thoughts. And the teacher straight away said, he said, that's God. And it was sort of like a light bulb moment for me, and the light turned on and I thought, of course. I thought, who could respond to my thoughts and feelings instantaneously other than God? And so I realized I already had this connection with God over that time, and those profound spiritual experiences was God starting to wake me up and saying, hey, you're heading down the wrong path. It's time to come towards me. So that was, I suppose, putting a stamp on me that, yes, this this path and this knowledge is for me. And that started me on the path of understanding as I went through the 8 weeks course, and it had all made a lot of sense. And I was applying the methods to meditate and about the soul conscious awareness, which is so important. And experiences started to happen quite quickly. Remember seeing sort of reddy golden light after meditations, which is a sign of what the Brahma Kumaris class as the supreme region where Supreme Soul resides. And I remember one time I was down at Frankston Beach after my early morning meditation, and I just had this amazing experience of what I defined as the soul, my true soul conscious experience, where I felt this energy behind my eyes. It was like a force, and it was an eternal feeling, spirituality, and a lot of peace and love. And I had a couple of thoughts. I thought, wow, I think this energy could actually help others around me, that I could share this energy and perhaps help them to be peaceful. And my second thought was, oh, I hope I can experience this again. It feels amazing. And to my delight, I was, able to experience that again. And many experiences started happening for me in meditation through the dedication, the daily meditation, and real focus on the knowledge that I was learning from the Brahma Kumaris. Then in 2006, I travelled to India for the first of my 13 trips, and that just took things to another level, being in that environment where people have been meditating since 1950 every day. And since then, just a different range of amazing experiences. And it's not the goal of meditating to have experiences. It's more about having stability and peace of mind. But for some, it's a beautiful sort of byproduct or bonus. So, my treasure hunt started early on, and I found a few treasures, but then it opened up to a whole room full of treasures, and I'm still exploring. I suppose part of me is always hoping for the next new beautiful experience. Challenges do come. They're coming from everyone, but I've realized that as we pass through the challenges, often there's something waiting just on the other side, another treasure or a bit of a reward. So with faith and determination, we'll certainly get to success. And just the last point of knowledge that I've received that's very helpful is just having faith in 3 main areas. That it's important to have faith in ourselves, to have love for ourselves and our journey, remembering our challenges and remembering the efforts that we've made. To also have faith in others in the world, that is faith in their goodness, faith in their unique skills, faith that they too might be able to take some steps forward to enjoy part of themselves or part of the divine. And I suppose the main thing that's so important now in life is faith in what we would call the drama of life, that there is actually some benefit merged in everything, that we can find solutions to problems. We might have to go through it or go around, go in a different direction, and that ultimately everyone will find their peace and happiness again, and the treasure stores will be open for them as well. I really believe that. So thank you.
Thank you, Brother Damian. That was beautiful. I could actually feel the joy with which you were sharing. And the thing that you mentioned about you weren't interested in the physical, but something in the spiritual or the metaphysical. And I was feeling that energy while you were sharing the story. So thank you so much. And if I could request you to lead us into a meditation experience by a commentary, so our online viewers also can have a little experience. That would be wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank
Happy to. So coming into the awareness of the present moment, taking in a deep breath, letting out a relaxed sigh, taking in another deep breath, and releasing any fears or worries, tension, anxiety, just letting it leave. Another deep breath in. Now traveling with our thoughts to an energy that exists within. Behind the eyes, the center of the forehead, there is a beautiful energy that resonates. There is a beautiful energy that is eternal. The soul. Within the soul, I can experience that timelessness. I can experience the beautiful natural quality of peace. This peace is stabilizing. And this peace is also filled with the loving energy. Peace and love is a treasure within. I experience that now. The energy of the soul is vibrant. It is non-physical. It powers this physical instrument, the body. And from this soul awareness, with one thought I can open up to the energy of the soul which is supreme, the supreme soul, beautiful point of energy, unlimited, powerful, loving. I open up to the rays and energy of the Supreme Soul. Feel that light and love coming to the soul. And it fills the soul with light and love. It fills the battery of the soul. And then from there, that energy travels outwards to others, outwards to the world. Through meditation, the soul, the Supreme Soul. One becomes like a window, a channel, that divine energy. allowing that energy to flow. The more I meditate on the divine, the lighter, peaceful, loving, and happy I become. Blessings and Shanti.
Thank you, Brother Damian, for that beautiful experience. And I'm sure after listening to the story and going through this beautiful experience, our viewers will be looking forward to visiting one of the Brahma Kumari Center nearby. So if you would like to know more about the events and programs, please do visit our website, which is www.brahmakumaris.org.au. And there are many centers around Australia and worldwide. So please do check on the website for the nearest center. So thank you once again. And we have really thoroughly enjoyed listening to the story. And, it was really inspiring to know that from such a young age, Damian, you were seeking for something which is true and spiritual. And when you found it, like, definitely it might have felt like a treasure store, unlimited treasure store. So thank you for sharing that with us today and all our online viewers. Thank you very much once again, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks with another interesting story. Till then, take care, keep meditating, and keep experiencing. Om Shanti.